Hello and greetings, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. We're back here on Monday night to do the Monday Nights Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. This is where I pull an album I like from the past and I talk about it. Basically, that's what it is. So this is the third attempt. I've recorded this twice to upload it. Both times it was corrupt, so we have to do it again. That's why I'm wearing the headphones, because they weren't working properly. I think maybe they were stretched slightly. Anyways, we're back here to do this album. The album we're doing today, Queen's A Day at the Races. This is kind of the sister album to Night at the Opera. Both titles coming from the movie titles for Marx Brothers movies back in the day. So, this album was released December 10th, 1976, recorded at Maynard Studios in Oxfordshire, Sarm East, Wessex Sound, and Advision Studios in London. It's about 44 minutes or so in length on EMI and Elektra, and produced by none other than Queen themselves. So, the Queen, of course, were appearing on the album. Freddie Mercury on lead and backing vocals, piano, and what they would call gospel vocals here. We have Brian May on electric and acoustic guitars, slide guitar, piano, harmonium. I think he also plays, well, he does lead and backing vocals as well. He also does the gospel vocals as well. Then you have, next up you have Roger Taylor. He's the drummer, also lead and backing vocals, does a little bit of acoustic guitar on the album as well, and some of the gospel vocals as well. And then the last one on there is John Deacon. He's the drummer, also doing some backup vocals here, and involved with the rest of the music as well. I think he's actually the one that, he's the one that plays the acoustic guitar, not Roger Taylor. My apologies for that. So, this album, coming out in 76, shortly within the year after Night at the Opera. Very similar in a lot of ways, the two albums. Lots of different sounds. They were exploring all kinds of different sounds. Not as much on this album as on Night on the Opera, where they kind of went extreme in all different directions. This one, mostly rock, but some very operatic vocals on this. Maybe more operatic vocals on this than any of their other albums. So they start out with Tie Your Mother Down. This is a rocker song, really hard rocker song. I like this a lot. It's always been one of my favorite Queen songs. And that's the thing about this album too, is that it has two or three, I think there's actually 3 or 4. It's more like 3 or 4 songs on this that are right up the top shelf, and the rest of them are kind of a little bit on the ordinary side, which is the reason why I think this album, maybe not quite as good as Night at the Opera, or as even the one that came after it, News of the World. So I think the reason those albums probably do better in the long run is because Bohemian Rhapsody was on Night at the Opera, whereas We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You were on News of the World, where this one doesn't really have that monster hit that they did, although some people would say that Somebody to Love is a big hit. It's certainly a beautiful song, one of the most beautiful vocal songs I've ever actually heard. I think it may be his best performance vocally on any song that they've done. Very operatic, very smooth, very sweet sounding voice, absolutely killer on this. You Take My Breath Away, another one just like that. Same thing, but maybe not as flamboyant a song. The next track, Long Away, this is a song that's vocaled by Brian May. Not too bad. A Millionaire's Waltz is good. You and I, also pretty good. Then you get to the track After Somebody to Love, which is, to me, the big song on the album, and also the big operatic song on the album. But my favorite particular track for these guys is White Man, Really heavy, menacing in a lot of ways. The guitar is absolutely killer on this, both the riffing and the solo part. It's got a real menacing sound to it, this song. One of their most menacing songs, I think. Good old-fashioned Lover Boy, another good operatic kind of vocal song. Then you have Drowse, Drowse, which is a song by, I want to say Taylor. Roger Taylor does the vocals on this. Not too bad. And then you have Torrente, the last Let Us Cling Together. Not a bad tune. The last couple of tunes, last maybe 3 songs, not so great. That's probably why I don't think the album does as well as the other 2 I already mentioned. But it's a great album in a lot of respects. Lots of excellent guitar parts here from Brian May. I think of all the Queen albums, I think his vocals are best on this album. At least the operatic part is the best on this album. He does do great vocals on some of the other albums, but not quite as operatic as what you get on this album. And the music is a good mix. You've got some hard, heavy songs on here. You've got some quiet, more operatic stuff on here. You've got some real poppy stuff as well. So it's got a lot of everything on here. Really good album. At one point, it was probably my favorite. And the way it worked out is that in the time period when we decided to get these 2 albums, my friend and me, I was chosen to get this one while he got Night at the Opera, and then we recorded them and got them each. So I've had this one a little bit longer than Night at the Opera, so I'm a little more familiar with it. But overall, great album. I hope you really actually get a chance to listen to this. I'll probably listen to it after I always do after I'm done with it. Such a good album. So I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please hit the like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. Any comments about this one or any of the Queen stuff or Queen in general or any comments I made or whatever you want to put, you can put those in the comment section below. And please hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any content. And we will see you next Monday night for another episode of Monday Night's Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. So have yourself a good one. Take care and goodbye.